Welcome back, Camp Social Outfitters. Apologize for delay in content. It's been a year, as you might have seen on the last post. Today we're going to talk about sleeping in the outdoors, camping, basic setup, whether you're going to be just out car camping or backpacking. So today I've got a few things to show and recommendations. So a lot of people, when they first start camping, backpacking, you're not looking for the most expensive gear, and that's all right. My recommendation is, of course, to always have a pad. This is the pad I started with about 10 years ago when I was just literally going to music festivals. I think I got this one off like eBay. Its brand is BFP, Best for People, and it worked. As I've gotten older, I can tell you, thin pads like this, very thin. There's like nothing to it, and the bubbles kind of work, kind of don't. But I've woken up with sore back, sore hips, whatnot. So unfortunately, it's time to retire this guy, give him to my kid, something like that. Now, if you're backpacking or even car camping, if you've got the space, there's all sorts of different mats out there. Like anyone these days, I'm on a budget, so I got myself let's see if I can get in the shot here, Nature Hike pad. Amazon this. I've used it. It works well. Not getting a sore back now or sore hips because there's enough material here where I'm not ending up pushing really against the ground. Now, like what you'll see on a lot of different camping, backpacking channels is people do recommend, of course, getting a foam mat like this, accordion mat. I've had that under the blue one, whatnot, and it's good to insulate yourself against the ground. But again, this is not going to help you prevent sore back, sore hips, wake you up in the morning. And when you're camping, sleep is ultimately the best thing. So you can have the next day to enjoy your hike and enjoy the views, whatnot, without hurting. So that brings us to, you got your inflatable, you got your accordion pad, get it blown up. With things like the Nature Hike pad, I'll bring that back out here. It does have a foot pump area. To me, this takes too long. After you've been hiking for how many ever miles per day, last thing you want to do is just stand there and just trying to pump the pad up. Even the pads that say they're self-inflating don't ever truly fully self-inflate. They still require you to breathe into them, which will potentially put moisture inside your pad. That's why I like to go with a pump. They have some nice pumps on the market. They have some okay pumps on the market. One of my first pumps I got was a gift. It was on an Amazon wish list, so it was on me to start. And it worked. It was this little pump here. You can still find on Amazon. It doubles as a light, and it's a pump. Worked well. I used it on last year's backpacking trip that you can find on Camp Social Adventures, our YouTube channel, and it worked well. About a month or two ago, my wife and myself, we went out, and we had a different pad that I'm not showing in this video because it's a huge one. And this was charged and everything like that, but when we got to camp and went to blow it up, this did not want to work. A couple weeks later, all of a sudden it just miraculously worked again. So these little off-brand, no-name ones, they work, they're okay, but they can just cut out for no reason that I know of. I'll probably take it apart and look at the circuitry one of these days. But yeah, so if you're on a budget, whatnot, this works. But if you can spend just a little bit more money, this has become my favorite one. It's the FlexTail. I'm going to bring it in here. What's nice about this is its battery versus the other one that's a rechargeable battery. This one just uses one battery. Pop it in there, screw it on. You're good to go. You can inflate it from this side. You can deflate it from this side, your pad, and it comes with a whole bunch of little adapters, whatnot, to fit your pad. So really nice. I'd pick up the FlexTail. I picked mine up at Garage Grown Gear. Really nice. So speaking of sleeping in the backcountry or just at your driving site, a couple different ways to sleep, obviously, if you're using a pad. If you're car camping, whatnot, you can get big old sleeping bags like this, you know, Fleet Farm, Walmart, what have you. I made the mistake of last year's after trip, my first true backpacking trip, to take, wasn't this sleeping bag, I got another one, much colder one, or one that's a Moby bag for much colder, and I threw it on the top of my bag and threw the tent on top of the bag, so on. It was a real mess. Took me forever to get to camp, and took me forever to get the next day back to my vehicle. So big ones like this, good for car camping, or your backyard, front yard, what have you. But for the backcountry where you're going to be, you know, hiking to your position, or maybe even biking to your position, so everything needs to fit in a bag, either get smaller sleeping bag that fits in your backpack, or I've moved on to quilts. You'll hear a whole bunch of different YouTube channels talk about using quilts. This is a Zenbivy. Really nice. It's got this clip feature. See if I can find one of those. There we go. So bring it in here. So there's a bottom sheet. They sell a half sheet, they sell a full sheet, and then you're like, this is almost like your comforter for your home bed. It feels just like your comforter. It's super nice. Just clips to it, and you can have part of it unclipped or the full thing clipped, depending on if you need, you know, not to be as warm as an example, or you need to be warmer. So that's kind of the comforter part. And then I've got the half sheet here. So this goes on the bottom of your mattress right there. And via some YouTube magic, we'll have it on the nature hike here in a moment. And ta-da! So here it is. I'll back up here a little bit. All right, so the big difference between this and a sleeping bag is the half sheet. And I'm gonna do a little unclip job here. The half sheet, this portion right here, is actually strapped down to the mattress itself, like so. The full sheet, plus it also tucks itself around as well. The full sheet version will do the same thing at the other side as well, so it stays connected. I've also done this around the accordion pad as well, just so everything stays together. Works really nice that way. You've got your foot box at this end for your top layer. And now it just acts as like a sleeping bag in essence. But with the clips here, it's anti-draft. So you can move around like you do in your bed at home, and you're not getting a draft. Now, as I said, sometimes you're a little warm. You can undo your clips. So I've got green and green here. And now I've opened it up a little bit further. I've still got 2 more clips to go right here. Bring that in for you to see. Just like that. Allows you to move around and so on very easily without getting a draft. What's also unique about this is it reminds me a little more of my mummy bag that I have. Is off the half sheet and the whole sheet, they've also got this nice, like, I don't know what they call it, like a head box or a pillow box per se. You can shove your pillow in here. If you get the pillow off Zenbivy, unfortunately did not arrive in time for this video. There's even a strap to hold it in place. They offer a couple different few pillows on their website. Only 2 of them have the ability to clip in to here so it doesn't move around on you. My last tip for you, of course, is, okay, you're carrying electronics out camping, whether it's car camping or the backcountry, backpacking, you know, you're bringing electronics like your pump. Water is not your friend in electronics, especially if you carry, you know, not only your pump, but, you know, you have a power bank as an example, stuff like that. How do you protect that? Well, a lot of people line their backpack with the interior of their backpack with a bag liner or a garbage bag, which works really well, but you got to get your stuff out sometimes. I also recommend a dry bag. This is me personally. I recommend some sort of dry bag. You can fold this up, the electronics in there, your batteries in there, flip that up, throw it in your bag. Sure, it takes up a little extra space, but, you know, just extra protection. So if your bag gets just absolutely soaked, or if you don't have a bag liner, if you forgot to put a trash bag in there to line it, you know, this will at least protect your electronics. Your quilt and other stuff may get wet at that point, unfortunately, but your electronics will be dry. Anyhow, that's what I've got for sleeping out in the backcountry or car camping. Mattresses, pick yourself up a nice thick mattress. Don't neglect your sleep, you know, because the next day activities aren't going to be fun, whether you're car camping and just chilling with your guitar by a fire, or, you know, you got a backpack back to your vehicle or further in for the next campsite. So don't neglect your sleep. Pick yourself up a nice mattress, something that's going to fit in your backpack, easily in your vehicle, and of course, pick up a nice sleep system, one that's not going to over encumber you and fits the season. Check the ratings of your sleeping bags and your quilts. See what temperature they're meant for. A lot of websites will tell you what they have a rating for, as well as the quilt or the pads as well. If they're a name brand, I know this stuff's getting more expensive. That's why, unfortunately, with a lot of the cheaper stuff, you're not going to get ratings. So just keep an eye on that type of stuff. Anyhow, I've talked your ear off enough today. So, Camp Social, get out there, get camping, get social. Thanks very much.